what she's going to be saying when we're done here.
Yeah. Well, there you go. That's all right, everyone. I know everyone's been waiting for this. Apparently, somebody canceled their enema appointment for this, and what can you say to that? We're honored. So this is Masculine Geek number 62, live stream D&D game number 4. Yes, Rollo is on the way. He had something to take care of. He will be a little late. So without further ado, I'm going to kick this over to our Dungeon Master, Mr. Drew Bay.
So, for those of you who are lame and didn't watch all of the prior episodes, I'm going to give you a quick recap. Actually, I'm just going to recap the last one, just bring you to where we are right now. So, the group was dealing with these cultists who had framed them and had stolen a chalice from the temple of the goddess Ilsfari in the port city of Horsehead. And in the process of dealing with these cultists, the group also ran afoul of a criminal gang of halflings led by Hugo, the halfling, who is their boss. And in the last session, after an assassination attempt by these halflings, as revenge for Grot, the half-orc, killing Hugo's nephews, Alvin, Simon, and Theodoric.
Fuck those guys.
Yes. Actually, I think Saro, the tiefling warlock, cooked 2 of them alive. So he's also partially responsible for this. The group went on a halfling murder spree through the town of Horsehead Port, fighting their way across to the docks, where they burned down the Scaled Hag Tavern, forcing Hugo, the halfling, out along with his war wenches, these obese were-rats. And after fighting them and actually burning down the warehouse where they'd kept all of their stolen loot, unfortunately, they were not able to kill Hugo, who was teleported away by an elderly wizard. And so when we left, I think the group had retired to one of the other inns. Actually, I think, didn't everybody go back to the Slippery Mermaid to get washed up and ready to head out of town?
Yeah, Grod needs to hook up with that prostitute is basically what he was saying last time.
There was a gnomish prostitute that attempted to delay Grot as he was leaving the Slippery Mermaid, which is one of the many fine brothels in Horsehead Port. Now, it's late morning when the group awakens. You guys were out killing halflings and fat were-rats most of the night. And you awaken to a loud banging. And when you come out of your rooms on the upper floor of the Slippery Mermaid, out onto the balcony, you see down below, there are a few of the city guard in the lobby area. And they're roasting, several drunks who had fallen asleep.
These guys.
Prostitutes, laying in the tables and the benches around. And they call out, by order of the Jarl, nobody is to leave any of the domiciles or establishments in this town on penalty of pain, the measure of which will be decided on the spot by the guard as we see fit. Now, if anybody has any important business, they must first petition the Jarl through us, and we will ask for permission on your behalf. And they start kind of making this a gesture implying that coin would be appreciated. Wink, wink. And they turn and they slam the doors and they walk out. And you hear some whispering down below. Some of the horrors are starting to to talk, and suddenly one of the drunks gets up, a sailor that you recognize from the previous night that you'd knocked aside when you were chasing after Hugo and one of the were-rats. And he goes and he's like, "Ah, fuck this. I go where I want. I'll be fucked if some pansy god is going to tell me what I can do." And as he goes and he walks out the door, you hear some yelling and a scuffle outside. And shortly later, they throw him back in through the door, and he's holding his groin, and he's just blood is running down his face from his mouth, and he's just collapses onto the floor whimpering. You see a little trickle of blood starting to run out of his mouth there, and he's mumbling something, but you can't make it out. It sounds like his jaw might also be broken. Also, one of the looks, actually, you can't quite tell if she's a half orc or if she's just ugly, but one of the horrors is knocking on Silric's door, and there's no answer. And so finally she says, sir, and opens the door, and there's nothing. What does everybody do? Actually, we'll go around. Grot.
So I thought we were all in one sort of like common sleep room.
Oh, you're except for Silric.
All right.
Now, actually, didn't you all kind of hook up, or did you just go and?
I don't remember now.
We left off. We were going to split the loot because there was a caravan of loot, and then we're talking to the guards, and then I don't know. Yeah, for we're
going to spend the night, and then in the morning,
the place to spend the night. So everybody had, maybe some of you bunked up. But anyways, now you're out on the landing, and Silric appears to be missing. We don't know where he went. And the guards of the town have now ordered everybody that they have to stay indoors. But Silric's missing. You have cultists to chase after, and there might still be some angry halflings out there.
I look around, see if there's... Oh, I'm sorry, in order. Go ahead, Grot.
Yeah, shut the hell up. I love you too, Aaron. Is there any of the guards that were there before when we made a deal with them? Because I remember the guards saying that they were give us some help because they knew what we were about. Like they knew we were our mission, as it were.
One of them looked familiar. It wasn't the guard that you spoke with the first night when you came into Horsehead Port, but it looks like one of the guys that was with him that you had talked with previously.
All right, so I'm gonna nudge the common patient sled, that one there, and I point to that one that you're referring to. Him recognize.
Okay, they're just standing right outside the door. The door just still flung open.
And these are the guards, correct?
Yeah.
There's
that
two
one,
guards standing outside.
That guard knows us.
Yeah. Well, let's go talk to him, Grat.
All right, we're gonna walk over firmly and
well, as you're coming down the stairs inside and heading towards the front door, the guy behind the bar is wearing cleric's robes. He's got kind of long, thin beard and mustache and hair. Calls out and says, "I wouldn't go out. You don't want to test them. Stay. Drinks half off."
I just keep walking to the guards.
We'll drink later. Wait, we have business.
So as you approach the door, the guards kind of look at you and they take a few steps back and they say, "Halt. Did you not hear the Jarl's order? No one is to leave any of the buildings, no one in or out of the town."
Yes, but I thought we had a previous understanding that we were not only going to solve your halfling problem, which we more or less did, but you also want us to go and take care of those hooded cultists as well. I don't know how very well we're going to do that if we're quarantined here.
And I point to the guy that I know.
Yeah.
I remember talk to you. You know us.
Come here.
What?
Several nobles have been killed in the previous night.
Good.
And people around, well, they were pricks, but
Yes.
they were friends of the Jarl. And now their help has been coming down with some sort of an illness, bleeding and dripping black pussy filth from every orifice. Some of them have already left. Who knows where they could be, and who knows, what this thing is. We're doing door-to-door searches and burning any houses that we find them in. So we can't have anybody on the streets going anywhere until we've found and killed all of them.
Well, I kind of like Brad healthy, no pus. We need to go.
Who do we
Quickly.
have to kill? There's the nobles or their helpers?
Well, we can't risk you or anyone else becoming infected. And if you become infected, then getting out of the town, it'll spread. We just have to kill everybody. Well, not everybody. We have to find them and burn them in their houses.
All right, anybody infected, you got to kill.
Yes.
I see. Okay, cool. I go to the bar and
I'm fine with that.
I go to the bar and just get myself a bottle of booze from the effeminate-looking elf guy.
Oh, God.
They ain't got no booze.
Choose.
We ain't got no booze.
Points at Sarah, though, and says, wait a second. You, demon thing,
Oh boy.
didn't you burn down the scaled hag?
You have me mistaken for someone else.
I think it'd be hard to mistake you for anyone else with those horns.
This might be good.
We might be able to make an arrangement with you.
Oh, what do you want me to do?
We want you to burn some houses.
What are you going to do for me?
That's disgusting.
Well, we could possibly convince the Jarl to give you special privileges to pass through the city in exchange for helping us control this disease or whatever it is that's spreading.
I'll need my assistance. All of these guys that are with me.
That ranger is kind of sickly looking. Has he been bleeding or leaking from any orifices?
He's fine.
Okay.
Well,
He's just like that normally.
Now-
shit.
The other guard quick taps him on the shoulder and points and starts running. And you see them going down the street, and there is a busker, one of the musicians that you recognize from the night before, and he's got his lute, and they just run down. You can't make out what the exchange is, but there is some sort of a heated argument. The bard attempts to strike one of the guards with the lute, and they tackle him and start beating him with it. And you can hear this sort of twanging noise as the strings are breaking, and it eventually breaks over his head, and he just lays there in the street.
Oh,
When
come
they get
on.
up and they slowly make their way back down the street, and they're breathing heavily. And Silric is coming up the other alley, coming down the street from the other side. So where has Silric been at overnight while the rest of the group have been sleeping, resting in the Slippery Mermaid?
I have been conversing with my faithful, my zealots, my unconventional conventionalites.
Just don't get sick.
The guard sees you and yells, "Hey, you're supposed to be indoors. Haven't you heard about the sickness?"
Oh, are we sick now?
No, we're good.
Somebody's sick.
Who's sick? Are you sick? I'm not sick. I'm sick. I know it's sick.
In the night, several of the lords and nobility of the city have been murdered and poisoned from the looks of it. And now the help have been coming down with something. They're bleeding. There's a pus and black foul ooze seeping from all their orifices. So to prevent the spread, the Jarl has ordered everybody stay inside while we search building by building, house by house, and kill anybody who has come down with this illness. We're going to kill them to protect all of you.
Ah, I see.
Yes.
So, cut off the nose to bite the fleece. Okay.
It's the only way to be sure.
This good government.
Well, if there's anything I can do to help, I will offer my services.
Weren't you the other one that burned down the scaled hag?
Burn down.
Say yes. Yes, it is good to say yes.
Yeah, that might have been me.
See, we all help.
Was it really a burning though?
It's a barn burning.
Well, then hold on a second. And he reaches into his pack and he pulls out this list, and he's looking down and he scrolls and puts it back, and he says, "Accompany me. We need to travel to the manor of one of the lords around the corner from here, Arngir Jonsdatir." So he leads you down further into the city. And it's strange because you can see these faces peeking out. You can hear, the guards knocking on and yelling at people in some of the other buildings. On a couple occasions, you see the guards mercilessly beating some of the street people. And as you're, passing one, they're hitting them over the head over and over. You can hear them screaming. It's like, "But I don't have a home to go to. Stop hurting me." And then he looks over and he says, please help.
All right, Grat's going to go. Grat will go over and attempt to stop this.
Okay, so
what you doing here?
Intimidation.
Great. Do. All right, +2. 10.
So the guards are taking the turns, pushing this guy back and forth and punching him. And he's pretty bloodied up at this point. And he says, "I'm not sick." And they said, "Well,
Yes, you are.
symptoms are bleeding from the orifices, and we see you bleeding from your orifices."
That's
He said,
because you
"You've
put
been
foot up
hitting me."
ass.
"Of course I'm bleeding. Help, sir." "Oh, what the fuck are you?"
Stop beating this thing.
The guards look at you and say, "Well, he's clearly sick. We need to kill him, just to be sure."
Wait, what?
"Well, he's sick. We
No.
can't have him spreading the sickness."
Let's get down with sickness.
Is there any real sickness going on here, or is this just?
I think this fake. It's.
How many guards are there?
There's 2 with you, and there's 2 that are beating this guy half to death now.
Okay, I'm gonna lean to the 2 guards. So we guys say, get you guys to stop beating up that one guy, or
And
it's
I draw.
going to be a very, very, very bad day.
Yeah, and I draw my
For
great
you.
sword.
Okay.
Grad draws
And
his
then
great sword.
Sled, make an intimidation check.
I'm not that intimidating.
Clearly.
I've got your charisma.
Oh,
over-
natural 20, but I have a -1. Oh, intimidation, or do you want charisma?
Natural 20s. There's no negatives
Intimidation.
applied
Well,
to
do
that.
you want to intimidate or do you want to persuade?
I want to intimidate.
All right. In any case, since you got the natural 20, they turn to you and they say, sorry, what was that? Now, how do you persuade them? What do you tell them to get them to stop beating this old man?
I'm really tired of fighting halflings. I'm having a really bad day the past 3 days, and I'm sick and tired of being covered in orc blood and halfling blood. And for God's sake, just as a kindness and a courtesy for me so we could talk about it rationally, instead of resorting to violence, could you please tell you guys to stop beating up on that one guy?
He pats the other guy on the shoulder and he says, These are the guys that killed the fatties down by the docks last night.
Ah, the fatties. There we are. Ah,
Yes.
I knew they had a name.
The fatties.
Clever.
You're lucky.
No, you're lucky.
There was another group that came through here.
Oh,
And
God.
they chased down some of the halflings used to hang out to the docks before you killed most of them, and they would pick the pockets of the new people coming off the boats. And some of them chased them. They chased them right into the scaled hag, and they looked into Hugo's brown eye, and he cast some magic on them, something to mess with their minds, and then he fed them. Rumor is he feeds the victims to those were-rat fatties. And that's why they're so strong. Because he's been feeding them all the people that the halflings lure there and they kill. And that's where half of that treasure in that place comes from. That's why nobody would touch Hugo, because he'd mesmerize you. He'd do some shit to your brain with his brown eye.
Cool. So you're going to have your guys stop beating up on this guy or what?
He's already, they're preoccupied talking to you, and he's already kind of limping away. So the other one turns, he sees him, he calls after him, he says, "You get indoors." And he just kind of waves back and turns and kind of starts banging on the nearest shop door.
I'll sheath my sword.
So the guards that you're with originally, they tap Grot on the shoulder and say, this way over here. And you make your way through the streets. You see a few more guards, and eventually you get to a part of the town. You're heading sort of towards the west. So sun is in your back, and you see this tall, almost not quite a castle, but it's a very large house, and it has this gate around it that is mostly, it's up to about maybe 6 feet or so. It is stone, and it's intricately carved stone. It's obviously very expensive. A lot of work went into the art, although you can see some scrawlings and etchings around it, as if somebody had tried to vandalize it. And there's heavy wrought metal spikes around the top in a large door. And he says, "This is one of the houses." Looking through the wrought iron gate, there is, a path that goes up to the house. And on either side of the path, it looks like there are hedges that are trimmed into sort of a maze, but you can't see too much of it because of the height of the stone walls on the side. Make a roll for perception.
Who, everybody?
Mm-hmm. Everybody.
That's my perception. Well, I'm at +6. Holy moly. I am at 21.
Grad has 15.
22.
16.
15.
Okay. So as you approach, you all notice somebody is peeking through behind a curtain on one of the towers that's up. It looks like it's probably about 3-4 stories up. And as soon as they notice that you notice them, they close the blinds.
Do we, in that moment, do we gather any quick information from that exchange, or no? Was it too quick?
Very shadowy figure. You notice, you made the outline of a person. You could definitely see somebody is looking back. There's, the sun is behind you. So you got a good look at the outline, but you couldn't quite make out any details.
All right.
And the guards didn't notice it at all. But they said, they start trying to push on the gate. We've got to go in and we've got to kill everybody.
This does not make sense.
Sure.
How about you let us go in and maybe do your job for you? Why don't you guys take a breather on this one?
Yeah.
We need to make sure that it's done correctly.
Do we look unprofessional to you?
What is it? How do you correctly kill them precisely?
Well,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go in while they're talking. I just walk in. I just keep walking no matter what the guards say.
there's a wrought iron gate in front of you, and there is some sort of a knob that turns to the front and a lock underneath it. It doesn't seem to be opening.
All right, let me see.
And you,
Well,
what do
you are a rogue.
I am a rogue.
Do you actually have thieves' tools?
Yeah, I got thieves tools. Thieves can't. Would that be anything?
Well,
No,
thieves
can't, man.
Language.
Sort of language.
Special
So,
thieves.
never mind.
Special.
Jargon.
Hemp rope tinderbox. I should have a thieves tool box here. Thieves tools. Yeah. Okay. I'll start picking the lock.
Okay. Make roll for it.
Dexterity.
Yeah, actually, I think you can roll for lock picking here. Let me see. Sled. Make sleight of hand.
Sleight of hand. Ooh, +5. That's good. 24.
Okay, so as soon as you go to work on the lock, you can feel, okay, this is nothing. And it just opens right up for you.
I saw that in Magnum PI. Magnum did that one time. He opened up right away.
Nice. Was he wearing the short shorts?
No, but there's some hot boomer chicks in there too. That was a good episode.
That's
too.
that's the best kind. Hot boomer chicks. Yes.
So as the door swings open, you can hear this creaking, as if it hasn't been oiled for a while. And then you hear a rustling in this shrubbery that's all around here.
A shrubbery.
This shrubbery that's carved into, now that this is open, you can step in a little bit. It looks like the whole yard is carved into a maze. It is this sort of almost a dark green with a little purplish hue, the leaves, and you can see that there are some pretty nasty looking thorns on these.
Huh. Stay away from that.
Can I perceive if it's poison? I just take it.
The path is probably about 6-8 feet or so wide, so there's room to walk up, but the maze starts on either side.
Let's keep going, house. Also, in tower, that figure in tower.
Any way to go up?
Anyway, to go as you approach the front of the house, there is a large wooden door that has a knocker on it, and it looks like there's a large handle on the outside, but it doesn't look like there's any sort of keyhole or anything from the outside to open it. And it's a large knocker.
I don't know. Rob, what's your character's name? I don't have it.
There are no windows on the first floor. It's just on the second floor and third, and then there are some towers that extend.
But we're in a maze right now.
You're on a straight path from the front gate to the front door, but out to the side of you and around the house.
All right, yeah. Let's just. I will cautiously walk towards the door, looking for any booby traps or any kind of shit.
As you're walking towards the door, you hear a growl to your right, and what looks like sort of a dog, but not quite. Its face is almost like squished back in a little bit humanoid, is running, kind of loping almost through this path straight at you, and it sort of calls out, not in quite a very guttural, "Whoa!"
What the?
Say, we're friends. We're not going to do anything.
It leaps at you. Roll for initiative.
All of us?
13.
One.
5.
What's my initiative?
17 for Grat.
Okay.
Oh wow. Okay.
Hey.
I'm at 19.
Nice.
Ooh.
I'm sorry. What? Who had 5?
I had 5.
Ooh.
I had 19.
What did Sarah have?
13.
Okay. And Aldemar.
8.
Okay. So this thing leaps. Ooh. And it slams into Sled, knocking him back just to the side of the path between where these hedges are. And as you fall and hit the ground, actually, hold on. So, oh shit, I just threw the dice at it. You take 2 points of damage. You just hit the ground, but you see that it's got these huge, claws. The claws are almost like 3 inches long, the length of the fingers, but it's got sort of a half between a human and a dog-like face. And he says, "What business do you have here?"
We're trying to figure out why the guards are killing everybody. They want us to come in here to kill you, but we're not doing that. Unless you wanted us to. This is a fine way to greet us.
You are on private property.
Oh, yeah, we're on
This
private
is
property.
master
I don't
on-
care. They got the entire town on lockdown and indiscriminately killing people. Now, if you could, or do you want to talk to them? Because they're coming.
Someone is coming to kill who? They've already killed Arngir.
Who's Harngear?
Arngir, the
Arngir?
master.
Oh,
If you
okay.
don't, why are you here if you don't know whose domain this is?
Because we're trying to figure out whether or not the people are actually sick or if this is just a power play by the rulers of this city. The guards are killing people left and right, and I don't see anybody with black pus coming out of their bodies just yet.
Wait. Did you say black pus?
Yeah, do you know anyone that's got black pus coming out of them? I waved to everybody like I'm talking to the
He
human.
starts growling. He backs off of you and he says, "Follow me, but stay close." Actually, no. Get on my back.
Oh,
So-
cool! I got a horse. You guys are fucked. All right, I get on the back of the human dog.
So as you are on its back, it starts going into this hedge. And you can see as it is going through the maze, the leaves kind of pull back a little bit for it, and the thorns retract somewhat. So it's almost as if the maze is responding to him. And he comes around to the back after going through a bunch of twists and turns. There's this clearing in the back, sort of like a garden. There's a bunch of benches, and there's a pool in the middle. And in this pool, there is a body, and it looks like a woman is dressed as a servant, but it appears that blood and sort of a blackish ooze is running out of her ears, out of her nose, out of her ass, pretty much everywhere into this water. And the fish are all just floating on the top of it.
Oh, the sickness looks real.
Like the
Now,
blood is here.
is the rest of the party following us?
Yeah, I am.
Yep.
They're, so yeah,
I'll pull out my face mask.
Got your underwear on your head.
you scream and you turn. One of the guards didn't stay close enough, and you see these vines wrapping around him now, and the thorns are all punching into, like, right through the leather into him, and it's almost like starting to stretch him out, and you can see him starting to go pale, and the thing turns and he walks. You don't know its name yet. They kind of like the huge
Human dog, yeah.
dog thing walks back over, and
Scooby.
as he approaches, he barks some sort of command, and it drops him, and this guy falls face down, and he tries to get up, and he hoarsely starts to say something, and then he faints, and he turns and he says, "You'll probably need to carry this one for a while,
No, we can leave him be.
but
then.
he'll recover."
All right. So how long has this body been here?
Last night, I was. This is my shame. I am supposed to be defending Angir. There was a cloud that came over the yard, and the next thing I'd known, I woken here with the body in the pool. And when I went inside to check, some of the others were sick as well. And Arngir, he's as if he was alive. He was alive the other day, but he rotted so quickly. You'd think that they had just dug him up after a week or two.
So he's dead too?
Who left alive in house? We
Very
saw.
much so.
We saw someone in window of tower.
Then there might still be somebody alive.
You haven't scoped the entire building out to see if there's any survivors?
No, as soon as I saw Angir, I raced back outside, hoping I could find some trace of the invaders, but none.
All right, well, let's go find this person or thing that was up in the tower. Is there a way to get up top?
You'll have to follow me.
You
so
ride
he
him
goes
again?
up- He goes
Prefer-
up to the back door, and there's a smaller door that looks very similar to the one in the front. And he looks up at the knocker and starts to say something. He can't quite make out the language. And the knocker kind of looks at him, and you can actually see it move for a little bit. And it just nods, and then the door swings open inside. And
What
inside,
fuck?
the place looks just, it is opulent. There are, the walls on the inside look like they're polished marble with flecks of silver and gold, and there are tapestries all over depicting battles and other scenes that you recognize from various folklore and legends. There are books strewn about, though it looks like somebody had been pulling books and other objects off the shelves. And as you go through this hall, there's a bunch of halls that are off to the side, to go down again, same, marble, polished almost to reflective sheen.
Yeah, it's TJ's house. We got it. Yeah.
It's phenomenal. When you get to the middle, there is a large, almost a spiral that goes up around the central area to a second and a third balcony that overlook this study in the middle.
Sarah,
And-
where these stairs go?
They go up.
You smell something.
Listen, you
And-
smell that?
Everybody make a perception check.
Oh boy. Yeah, I'm good at this.
Ooh.
3.
Like 16.
Oh, no, it's a 7. 10.
19.
22.
Nice.
23.
I have 22.
I have 23.
So Aldemar and Saro, everybody walking through this, and you can hear there's flies buzzing, and there is this sickly sweet smell that all of you know is, freshly dead body. But Aldemar and Saro detect a hint of something else, almost like a necrotic aura.
Oh.
And it occurs to you, this was what you smelled right before you lost consciousness the first night that you were in
Oh, these guys.
at port.
Ruh-roh.
I think it was the Bloody Oar.
Yep. This deja vu.
The one Sarah burned down.
Saro burned down.
It's a joke. It's a joke. Just joking.
I burned down a lot of
I
things.
take it back. I take it
He
back.
burned down the burning bear, and he burned down the scaled hag. So there's plenty more buildings to burn down. There's a lot of time.
This one might be next.
So you can smell, and you see actually up ahead by the front, you can see another hall that passes through this, goes to the front door, and behind the front door is another body slumped up against it. But you hear kind of a ragged breathing, and it turns, and it looks like it's another like servant. At first, you thought that it was a red and black and like a patterned dress. But as she turns, you realize that it was white and it's just soaked. It looks like she had been vomiting. Some sort of black, slime is all over her front. And there's blood running from her nose, her eyes, her ears, down, black and red, running down the inside of her thighs. She starts to turn towards you, and there's a pool of it under the floor. It's kind of dragging. And she's trying to say something, but there's nothing coming out. And then she coughs. And as she's coughing, more of the stuff sprays out across the floor. And she's just slowly dragging her way towards you. And then the dog thing just bows his head and I've failed them all.
That's true.
I can't do it, but I must ask. Please end her suffering.
I
Grat-
immediately take a
Grat-
shot at it.
All right. Grat was going to, but Sled, not
With
very patient.
Do I have to roll to see if I hit, or can we just assume I'm a good enough shot?
Is it still alive?
she's alive, but I mean,
Can you
she's
heal her?
Good.
Cure disease, maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Easy enough. Let's see. You could kill her and I could revivify her. That might be fun.
Right.
Let's
Let
me see if I got.
actually, since he had already called out his action
Mhm.
before anybody else responded,
All right, go kill her.
I'm gonna go with it. But then you guys can do whatever else. So, how did you with the arrow, the crossbow, longbow, crossbow?
Yeah, crossbow, just at a safe distance, and I aim for her heart and make sure that I put her out as quickly as possible.
So,
Very
a second
considerate.
later, right as she's coughing again, the crossbow bolt just kind of sings out down the hallway and punches right through her, and she just collapses, face down, hits the floor, but something strange happens. When she hits, normally you'd expect, the skull to just thunk on the floor, but it actually gives a little bit. Almost
Oof.
as if it was starting to rot.
Oof.
I lean to the dog and say, I'm sorry.
It's sort of whimpering.
Do you know what or who is causing this?
And he says, no.
Okay. Well, guys, I don't know.
Burn building and
Yeah,
let's
we
leave.
better burn the building. I guess I'm going to start believing the dog.
And check tower before we go.
Yeah. Is there anyone else in this tower?
I'll go with Grot and check the tower.
He said, well, there were the other servants, 12 in total. The girls, it was different girls. Once they passed a certain age, he would tire of them and give them a sum of money to go on and do whatever and hire new girls on. He had, Angir was very particular about his servants. He
A man of strong passions. Yes, we've got it.
had certain predilections, shall I say.
Let's get him.
So as you make your way up this spiral, you notice that the place looks like somebody had been searching. Things are strewn about. Books were pulled and thrown off of shelves. Some of the chairs, there's things that have been upended. And when you make your way up to the third level, there is a hall that goes down, and at the end of the door, there's a tower, and it says, "This is the way to the North Tower." You said that it was in the highest one.
Yes.
Nobody's supposed to be in there.
We saw someone.
That's suspicious.
Do you have a back door in there or a way to figure out who's in there?
No, the only way in is through this door.
I knock on the door. And arm a bow.
Somebody knocks on the other side.
Can you open the door? Or you locked in?
Who are you?
Oh,
The plumber.
I'm the infamous and very understanding and patient Sled. I am a heroic, good-natured rogue, and we're just here to save you.
There's a dog, human dog thing out here too to help.
And an awesome human dog we can ride. What's your name?
My name? Auric.
Auric is here with us.
I don't recognize this one.
Uh-oh.
He's sniffing out the door.
You guys want, and I'll whisper to the guys, you want me to unlock and you guys just wait to charge in?
Yeah, I'll draw my
I draw my
two-handed sword.
Let's do this.
Is there a lock or anything, or can I just open the door?
There's a lock on this one.
All right.
On the outside?
Yeah.
So this person was locked in there. Wait. This lock on outside. Very strange.
But he doesn't recognize it. So I say, hey, you can't let us in, huh?
Yeah, see?
Well, I promise.
That's funny.
Are you here to kill me?
Oh, Jesus Christ. No, let us freak in. We're not going to kill you. Everybody thinks we're here to kill people.
Does it sound like a female voice or a male voice?
It sounds sort of like an older person, but it's kind of hard to make out.
All right. So
I'll just start unlocking the door.
that might be.
All right, go for it.
What am I doing? Dexterity or sleight of hand?
Yeah, sleight of hand.
11.
Use your sleight of hand.
it doesn't. You think you've almost got it, but then something jams and you can't quite get the door open.
Grot, you
Brad?
want to bust this door down?
Yes, I'll take turn at. Yes. I'm gonna set my shoulder and hinges. Does this open in or out?
This door opens out.
All right, I'll grab handle and pull with all might. 20 strength. Plus 10.
You also have the cap of stone giant strength. Doesn't that include-
yes.
Hmm.
Yes, but it's still. I don't know why I'm talking like rat. Yeah, I do, but I think that does include. I think my strength came to like, well, maybe 17. Maybe it's 20. No, it's 20 now. It was 19. Now it's 20 because of the level
So it's
increase.
a
That's what I
plus
did.
5. That's a 5 bonus to your strength roll.
On top of my normal strength.
No, if the cap of stone giant strength brings your strength up to that, if you have a strength of 20, then your modifier to your strength roll is plus 5. So whatever you roll, add 5 to that.
Okay.
Well,
Actually-
no. All right. So
11.
11.
Yeah.
Crap.
Yep.
As you're pulling on it,
Sweaty hands.
you twist the doorknob right off, or the door handle right off.
Here, I give it to Sled. Here, handle.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
The voice behind the door calls out, Don't you dare, I am armed. I'll kill you.
Look, buddy, they're either going to burn down this building, you come with us, or not. We're not here to help hurt you. We're here to help you.
Burn down the building
Yes.
made of stone.
Good point. Good point.
And
Actually,
there's enough flammables. Can I, is the lock still on this, or did Grat rip that off?
just handle.
The mechanism is.
Can I try and pick the lock again?
No, it's you weren't able to get it, and something broke off the first time that you were going
Okay,
through.
sorry.
How about I just? Why don't I just ram it?
right. How about we use a subtler approach here?
All right,
All right.
clerk.
How about I cast suggestion on him? We'll suggest he opens the door. How's that? He's probably
Okay.
got a bard of some sort. So I'm going to cast suggestion. It's got a range of 30 feet. I'm sure if he's right behind the door, it's within range.
Hmm.
One action. So
Okay.
I will cast. I'll cast suggestion.
Okay, let's see. What is the save for that? Let's see. Concentration, word of manner. Okay, so like shit. Wisdom saving throw. Okay. So how
I
do you
will
phrase the suggestion?
I will say. I'll say. Let's see. I got to be careful how I do
Pass some note under door that says, "I do what I want."
Let's see. I'll suggest that he open the door. That's pretty simple. And come out.
Slowly, you hear something on the other side start to move, and then there's sort of a crack and a ping noise, and something flies out of the door handle, and it slowly starts to open, and behind it there is an older woman, like really old, like 80 something. I mean, she looks ancient, and
Shut
she's
the door.
looks like a a candelabra in there, and she says, "Get back away. Who are you, and what are you doing in this manor? What have you done with Angir?"
Who?
Unger is the dude. He's the guy.
Yeah, I asked the dog. Do you recognize this gal? You didn't smell her before.
No. Who are you?
Gotcha, bitch.
That's funny.
I'm gonna arm my crossbow and get ready for this. Gotcha, bitch.
What do you mean you don't recognize me? I'm Angier's mother.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pointing my crossbow at her now.
What's the inside of the room look like? Can we see past her?
There, behind it, there are spiral staircase that go up. So this is at the bottom. The actual room in the tower is a little bit higher up.
Oh.
And the thing starts to, the dog, Arik starts to grunt. That's not even a woman.
What?
Really?
I release
woman.
my bow. I fire at him. At her.
Oh, this man. Here go.
Okay. The bow. Okay. Well, make an attack roll.
Natural 20, 25 total.
Okay.
Nice.
The arrow strikes what for a moment appears to be this old woman square in the throat, and and just blood starts pouring out, and suddenly what was obviously now an illusion dispels, and it's an older man wearing the leathers from the cultists, but
shit.
also a dark, like almost a nicer cloak. And he starts to fall back, and he's scrambling, trying to pull the thing from his throat. And he reaches back into his, under the cloak. Well, as he's reaching back under the cloak, what do you guys do?
I'd get ready to shoot another one.
Am I? Is Grat close enough to take a swing with a sword? 2 swings,
Yeah,
actually.
and we'll stay with the previous initiative order just to save the time. Yeah, you're close enough. What do you do?
I'll take 2 stabs at him. I get 2 attacks per round, as it were. So, all right.
He's falling back, and he's clutching
All right,
at the Bolton's neck.
All right. 16 plus, what's my modifier? 9. 24 and 20.
Okay, with the sword?
Yes.
Okay, so come in, big overhand, splits his head down all the way through to the neck, cutting the bolt in half in the process. Then another swing across, and the halves of the head just fall off. The body's tilting, and as it's doing this, blood is just spurting out of what's left of the arteries in the neck, and there's just like this twin spray going back across the stairs.
Is this a Kira Kurosawa film?
They squirting blood.
Lots of blood everywhere. You've got a little bit of it on you too. This just
I gotta wipe it off a little bit.
Yeah.
I withdraw my sword. All right, this done. Just take care of.
We still got to go up.
Let's go look inside. What's this room inside here look like?
I'm going to ransack the body, by the way.
Okay. On the body, you find when he was reaching back, he was reaching for a wand.
I hand it to Silric. And all right, go on. I say I hand it to Silric. I say, you know anything about this?
I can.
Well, you would have to do a detect magic.
I was gonna say I can identify it. Hang on, that's on me at first level. Let's see here. Let's see his prep too. Yeah, I will cast identify. There it is. It'll take me a minute to do it, so you guys can go. That's casting time's 1 minute. So
as you are examining this, and why the fuck is this thing? Sorry, I'm trying to. Getting my notes for all this stuff. All right. So, as you're going up the stairs, there's all these paintings hung on the hall, and it looks like it's nude portraits of dozens and dozens of young women. And as you're going up, and Eric is kind of, oh, I remember her. I wonder where this one went. There's a good thing that they'd already left.
What,
And
what this D&D version of Instagram?
Finally, you make your way up to the top, and there is, as you come up onto this landing, there's a window that overlooks the entire front. There's another one out the back, and you can see this huge just maze down below. You can actually see out over, a couple, blocks of Horsehead. And this is in a kind of a nicer area. This is more residential. There are some other really nice homes. You can see in the back the pool with the body in it. But in the room, again, it's really finely polished marble. Even the floor, although the floor has lots of markings on it, it looks like the floor had been repeatedly used to draw summoning circles as well as circles of protection, so that now, and Saro would know this, if you were to conjure a demon or if you were to summon something from another plane, sometimes you would need to have a circle of protection to summon it into, or to control it, to be able to prevent it from killing you as soon as it arrived. But there's also markings that indicate that it could also have been used for teleportation. So he was using this room in this tower for summoning and possibly for travel. And there were, various books and things strewn about. But actually, make a perception check.
Everyone?
Failed miserably.
19 for Grot.
22.
20.
9.
22.
22.
And I have 20.
19.
8.
Woohoo!
Okay. You notice that there's still sort of a faint outline, and it looks like it was hastily wiped away. Like somebody was pouring, some sort of mixture of ash and salt and trying to draw something up, but it was, very hastily wiped, as though whoever this was possibly was attempting to maybe teleport out, but didn't have time to complete the circle.
What all this mess?
If that's the case, then they're still around here then.
Unless
You guys want to go up?
Do we know anything about the guy?
You don't know this guy. He's just one of the nobles. Apparently a magic user. You could ask Arik.
All right. That's a good idea. Why don't I think that? I'll ask the Arik thing. What was
Arngir.
Arangir? Is that what his name is?
Yep.
Arangir. What exactly did your master do here?
Well, he was a wizard, and I'm not even sure how far back. He has been an advisor to the Jarl, and he has provided various services for the other lords and ladies of Horsehead. Often teleportation, if they needed to travel some distance, or occasionally if they were, I guess I can tell you, he's dead. He would often use, well, imps and other extraplanar nasties, often to spy on business rivals for various guilds, as well as political enemies of the Jarl, and occasionally provide them with, shall we say, carnal entertainment.
Sexy time.
They had lots of parties in the manor.
Some kind of pleasure cult here.
I like it already. Now what?
Can I
I'm
tell?
gonna go start going up the stairs.
All right, you got. Can I tell anything about the wand yet?
The wand is it's a magical wand. It the energy after holding on to it for a while, you can feel kind of a sense that eldritch blast. You have a sense of that being contained, and the impression that you get from it is that this could be used to cast it several times per day.
Ah, okay. Eldritch blast might be useful.
And it can cast it as, geez, what is it, like 5th level? So at higher 5th level, you can cast 2 beams from it.
That's powerful stick.
I'll hold on to this for safekeeping. God forbid it fall into the wrong hands.
He was about to blast one of you with his wand when he was reaching for it before Grot went and separated his head from his body.
That's what I do.
All right,
Let's go upstairs.
I'm gonna. Well, I'll go last upstairs, but before I do,
You're in this.
yeah. Okay. Is there any books? Are there any scrolls? Are there anything laying around that, I mean, hint wise or magic wise, that's laying around?
There are various books, magical tomes. There are several what look like ledgers. In fact, one of them is open, and it looks like he was just recently, or somebody was just recently writing it.
All right, I'm gonna go investigate that and look at that. You guys can. I think I'm okay here. You guys can go up. I'll.
You need guard.
Somebody can hang out with me. That's fine. It'll probably take a little while to figure this out. So.
Oh, guard.
The ledger, when you start flipping through it, you don't recognize the names, but the ledger is full, and this is just one of several, full of details of dealings with various other lords and ladies, merchants, guilds, the Jarl, and some of this stuff is pretty assassinations, lots of blackmail, lots of blackmail material in this. So it looks like he was trading in information, spying on others on behalf of the Jarl and other lords and ladies. So this was a kind of a seedy character, trading in information, having some people killed on occasion, rivals.
That could be useful. I'm gonna hang on to this. I'll put it in my pack here. Is there anything else laying around that looks interesting? I guess I could do a knowledge check on this, but
well, as you're going, actually roll.
Okay. For
in
general,
wisdom.
On wisdom. There we go. So, all right, so 17.
You notice that in one of the desks, part of it, as you are picking up and setting down these books, when you set one tome down, there's a solid thunk. And then one of the books, after you finish flipping through, you set it down, there's a thunk that sounds hollow. So it sounds like there might be an empty, like a hollow part in this table that he's got these books on.
Oh, all right. I'll start tapping around on it. Sled, do you want to come help me out with this? You're
absolutely.
you're a little better at this than I am. Be careful of traps, though.
All right.
Okay, roll for perception, Sled.
Elemental P, perception. 11.
Okay. Okay. So as you are feeling around the desk, you find a spot underneath where there's like a seam, and you push up and you're able to slide back part of it and reach in, and there is another book that you pull out.
I just hand it to Silver, like, man.
Yeah, okay, that's what we're looking for. All right, I'll what does it look like? Tell me what the book looks like.
It's a black, leather bound book, rich mahogany, and the pages are very fine. This guy obviously had access to the best, of everything. Really heavy, nice paper, sort of an ivory texture. And as you begin to open it, actually make a roll a d20. Make a dexterity.
Oh, dexterity check.
Oh,
That's all right. 19.
Okay. As you begin to open it, there is a bright flash and a needle
Yeah, I thought so.
flies out of the book as the pages open, and you're just able to turn your head aside as it goes past, and
it hits Sled.
you can feel it just miss the tip of your ear,
Oof.
and it actually
The
ends
tip
up,
counts.
pinging off one of the marble walls behind. So, and it's a good size, like about 4-inch bolt that just flew out of that thing.
All right.
What happened?
Well, it's trapped, obviously. Is there a lock on this of some sorts? Is there
No, there's no lock. You opened it, and that
had to be some way?
happened.
Okay. Well, anyways, all right. So I'm gonna be very careful with it and gingerly look around, see if there's any more. There might be something else in it too.
As you're going through this, you're seeing a lot of stuff about not just the Jarl, but the Jarl's parents, and even further back, grandparents. This guy was obviously like old. He was using magic to keep himself young. And you find that the Jarl has an older brother that was not known to the family because it was born outside, basically the son of a prostitute, and that the brother was raised in the temple of Vatnari, not Ilsfari, but a different temple of Vatnari, and that this brother was supposed to be the actual Jarl, but they kept this hidden. So all this time, this guy had this information, and apparently the Jarl knows that he could have had him deposed at any time in favor of this cleric. And now you have this information.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll pocket this book as well. It must be some like real bad information to have to be trapped. So
he's got lots and lots of dirt. Apparently, all these girls that had worked for him were traps. basically. Not like traps. Like
Don't get excited, Sled.
they were. Okay, that was a bad choice of word. Arngeir used the girls to entrap these various, businessmen and whatnot, and and some of these girls, and this is going back over decades and decades and decades, actually had the legitimate, or not illegitimate children, but ones that could have been the heirs to, various family fortunes. So he had been planning this stuff and blackmailing people over a very long period of time.
Good to know. We'll put that in the backpack too. We'll keep that. It might be worth something too. All right. Is there anything else around here that we ought to be interested in?
Well,
I'm gonna look at the you guys. I don't know.
Tapestries.
The rest of you guys can go on. I want to actually just look at the summoning circle right there too.
I'm gonna keep going up the stairs.
Yeah, you guys go on. I'm gonna look at the summoning circle and see if it's like a dimension door or if it's actually like some kind of. Well, I don't actually. Sorry, Rob, Sarah, you would know if this is like sort of sorcerous or demonic, or if it's just like simply just dimensional.
Can I tell that? Is there a way, do I need to check? Because I can do, like, I understand. Okay. 20.
All right. You're looking at this floor, and as you kind of stand back, you kind of shove some of the books and things aside, you can see that it's been written over and wiped and written over and wiped regularly. And you know that often when they're doing this, sometimes blood is used, sometimes it's salt, sometimes it might be, a mix of sulfur and ash, or other materials, depending on what's being done. And sometimes it's as simple as just using, wax or just drawing it out with a brush. But you can see that certain patterns have been used relatively often based on trace wear on the floor, including, summoning. It looked like he was summoning something from the abyss. And earlier, Auric mentioned imps. So probably to use them for information, to spy on people.
All right, so he's got some.
He's got diabolic things going on here.
No, yeah, he's got some serious shit. Okay, I wanted to know that because I want to know what's going to come after us. All right, we can move on.
Okay. So the guard that is downstairs he's still holding on to his buddy, and he calls up as you're coming back down. He says, "Let's just burn the place and get out of here already. It stinks. It stinks like a dockside whorehouse. Also, hey, what do you got? Some healing? You got bandages? You have magic? Anything? This he's not doing so well."
Oh, that guy that got into the thorns? Is that the dude you're talking about? Oh, I can help that guy.
Fuck that guy.
Make a perception check.
Oh, me? Come on, do me good. 11.
Okay. As you're approaching him, you notice that there is some sort of thin black liquid that is running down from his nose and from one of his ears.
He's got it.
From the thorns?
He's got the clap. What are we going to do? Cure disease.
Auric notices it too. He stops. He starts growling and sniffing at him. He says, "Stay back."
No, he's going to explode.
That's
This the guard that's stabbed by thorns.
Yeah, is that same?
Oh, are you asking me or are you asking Auric, the dark thing?
Auric. Thorns Stab this guard. Is this cause of black bile?
No, the thorns. They'll suck your blood out, and they'll leave you. They won't kill you. They'll leave you weakened. They're just to make sure that anybody that wanders in that's not supposed to doesn't quite make it all the way through, but doesn't kill them either. We don't want intruders dead. Otherwise, we can't question them. And sometimes Ongear would use their blood, potions and experiments and whatnot. Or sometimes he would just feed them to the plants after. But that's not the thorns.
Well, I can heal him, or we can just back up and watch what happens to him. Heal him?
We want to play Captain Save a Creature?
Save a schmo.
Captain Save a Schmo.
Save a schmo. I don't want to see him in pain, but I don't know.
Let's do it. All right. I'll do healing word. I'll do the simple one on him. I'm not touching him. It's a word.
Make
component verbal. That's it. Nothing else.
No.
Not taking you out to dinner.
And you're casting your it's wisdom for the clerics for the casting, isn't it?
Yep.
I'm going to have you make a DC roll 20 for the wisdom.
All right. Plus 3. There we go. 18.
18. What's your modifier?
Plus 3.
Plus 3. Is that 18 with the 3 or
18 with the 3? So it's 15 plus 3 is 18.
Okay, so you see him kind of the color starts to return to him. And he's, looks up a little bit. He says, I feel a little better, but he starts to look at his hands. He says, I can't feel my fingers. What's going on? And the other guy sees him and looks at his face and backs up and trips and falls over a piece of furniture, hits his head, starts turning, scrambling, get it back up, and he's looking at him. He looks over at Sarah and says, "Thing, burn him! Burn him!
Is he a witch?
Quick! He's got it."
Got it.
Baby, you got it.
He weighs the same as a duck.
What do you want to do? You Eldritch Blast on him with this wand.
Try out wand on him, yes.
Well, it's not going to burn him, though. I don't think.
Looking at him, says, no, I don't have it. I feel fine. Don't, please, whatever the fuck you are, don't burn me.
Is he still bleeding?
He's you see like little rivulets of blood coming from where he was punctured by the thorns, but now he's got this just black like ooze running down out of his nose over his beard, and it's coming out of his ear a little bit more, and he's turning around in panic. He tries to draw his sword and he can't. As he pulls it, just flops out of his hands, and he's looking at it and he's freaking out. And he turns and he starts trying to run out the back door.
I might want to burn this thing. It's not good.
All right, let's.
As he's running, you hear a scream. And you see that he has fallen. He slipped in a pool of this black crap mixed with blood, and you can see now there's another one of these servant girls, and she's grabbing him. You can barely make out what she's saying, but it sounds like she's moaning something to him and trying to pull, just kind of clamber onto him, and he's screaming now and beating at her with his elbow, and the other guy is screaming, "Burn him!" You know,
All right.
burn him,
I'm gonna cast Sacred Flame on him and the girl right now. Burn both of them.
All right. Make an attack roll with advantage. They're on the floor and they're not even trying to do crap.
How far away are they?
They're only probably about 20 feet down the hall.
Oh, no problem. Okay, I got 60-foot range. All right, Sacred Flame. Oh, there we go. So I got 19 on that one.
Okay, actually, they're supposed to make a dexterity saving throw. So never mind.
Hit them, so.
You don't have to make an attack roll. They have to make they're lying on the floor sick as fuck. They're not doing shit dexterity wise. His fingers are, he's going numb. So just roll for damage.
All right, so it's D8 per
modifier too, though.
D8 with my modifier per level, and I am now 6th level, right? Because we jumped a level since there. Boy, this is gonna be fun.
Nice.
D8, so let's see. So let's see. There's 3,
I
10,
hear a noise.
16, 20,
It's TJ's choo-choo train.
Okay.
3,
I mute that.
so 20, 26 altogether.
Oh, okay. Wow. So this bright gout of searing white flame shoots out of Cyric's fingers down the hall, and you see the whole thing lights up, almost painfully bright, and they just go up in a flash, and the guard is weakly attempting to scream, but all that really comes out is as he's burning, and just it lasts for maybe a few seconds, and you can it smells like roast boar and burning dog hair, and they just a few seconds later it's just blackened, charred bone with bits of leather and cloth and a little bit of meat hanging off it, and the floor is the whole thing is just wasted. And the other guard gets up and he turns and he says, "Well, fuck, that was close." And you notice that he also has a dribble of this stuff sort of coming down from the side of his eye.
For fuck's sake.
These guys. All right.
Look over there.
We need to get out of here. We need to alert the Jarl. And he turns and he starts walking towards the door.
Burn his ass
The
too.
front door this time, though.
Can I shoot him?
Go push him into the flames. Somebody go push him in the flames.
As he approaches the front door, there's still the body of that one girl there. So he's like getting back up against the wall on the left side, trying to edge around it, stay away from her and where the mess is on the floor.
So can I shoot him with an arrow?
You could.
You could. You still got this fucking clap, though.
Give him some penicillin.
I'm trying to look at. I've got burning hands, but I don't want to touch the guy.
So he turns back.
Even with burning hands, I don't want to touch
you raising the bow. He's like, "What? No, I'm fine.
Just push him into the flames. Push him into.
I'm
Yeah.
fine."
Okay, can I just like pull my? Never mind. I'm gonna just stab him with my long sword. Is that all right?
Don't go near that thing.
Don't go near it.
Don't go near that.
God, what's
Sarah, time to burn.
Yeah, let him burn.
Fire. Let's see. What is it? Burning hands.
Oh, you're braver than I am. Go ahead.
Well, no, I don't have to touch them. It's from the fingertips.
Oh.
Yeah.
From the fingertips with the burning hands.
Yeah.
You don't have to be up close. Yeah, there's shocking graphs. That's the sort of you can just shoot burning hands from a distance.
The Gaganosaurus Scorcher. Yep.
So in burning hands, he has to make a dexterity to get it. So, okay, roll for the damage.
Roll for damage. Is that a D8?
Yeah.
7.
Oh, it is a cone. You're right.
You should have more than that. You should have a modifier for that too. Let me go to your. Actually, I need to get you. You should all have gone up to 6th level and upgraded your stuff.
That's
But
why. That's what I've been doing this whole time.
Do that on the floor. But at how many? Well, you don't need to use a whole lot. These guys are guards.
That's 3d6.
Again,
Nice.
Yeah, you would know when to use higher level spell slots and not, depending on who you're killing. This is not somebody that's going to
14 points of damage.
Okay. Now let's see. He made the saving throw, so it should be
half as much. So it'd be 7 points, or 6.5.
As this flame shoots out, he tries to throw himself out of the way. Takes all this. He's like on fire though now. His side's on fire, but then he slips. He steps as he's trying to get out of the way. He steps on the back of the girl, but his foot just goes right through the body.
Oh.
Just squishes through it, and then there's this black crap, and he slips, and as he slips, his head slams into, and you can hear this ding as his helmet cracks against the marble on the wall, and his neck goes sideways, and he falls, and now he's just laying there, just burning, with his eyes just open, laying on top of this now kind of starting to decompose already body of this servant girl.
Jesus. Tasty.
No.
And Auric starts sniffing around and says, it might be safer to go out the back. Or maybe through the kitchen.
didn't Sled go up the? We look around. Is Sled around?
Yeah, he's upstairs.
No, I'm going up. So
Oh, you're still going up? Okay. So what is Sled doing?
well, you said this tower goes up. I'm just going all the way up
Oh,
to the
no,
top.
you guys were all right. You went to the top.
All right, I went to the top. Okay.
Top of the
All
tower.
I just pilfer any bodies on my way down, and then I rally with the crew.
Okay. Pilfering. The only body you find on the way down is that, and let me check. I'm going to,
That cultist.
yes, the cultist.
And that's where you got the wand from.
Okay. And you find a ring of resistance, necrotic resistance.
That might-
Ring.
So you pull a ring off of him.
I'm gonna put that on, so I can touch the clap people.
You can stroke them.
I can pet them and call them George.
Call them
Yeah.
George. That's always a good Warner Brothers.
Not George
character.
Bruno, a different George.
Yeah.
Jesus
A
Christ.
potion of, you find a couple vials on his belt. A potion of superior healing.
Keep that.
A potion of diminution.
Shrink you up and put you in the pocket.
Oh, I thought that made fat chick skinny. Okay.
It does, sort of.
And oil of slipperiness.
Oh, that definitely makes him skinny.
I'll be back in 1 minute.
Thank God it wasn't the sawdust of dryness that I got. I always wanted the
there's-
oil of slipperiness.
Yes, you don't want the sawdust of dryness.
KY jelly of D&D.
That's right.
Lead pine.
It's it's like cooking in oil. D&D KY. The master lube.
You slippery motherfucker.
It's slippery when wet. It's true. It might be cursed.
How you guys doing otherwise?
We're not bad. We're doing well. There's no ooze coming out of our heads.
Good.
That's right. Raul, I meant to ask you, your bulletproof coffee, is that something that you purchased over the counter or you made yourself?
No, you can get it. You can get it at I want to say Walmart. I don't know if you can get it. Walmart. I know you can get it at Costco.
Okay.
Getting it, and it's cool. It works. It's just MCT oil and like it's basically like butter coffee kind of thing. Yeah. I only have it like maybe once every like 3 days or something like that because like it kind of loses its effect if you have it every day. But it's pretty good. It's all right.
I'll give it a shot.
It's good if you like want to concentrate on something for a little while. I usually have it before a show.
Gotcha.
You also find a list with 3 names on it. And one of them was Arngier's, and another is Rolf, and both of those are crossed off.
Deadpool.
And, yeah. Let's see here. The last name is crap. I'm just making this shit up as I go here. Last name was
Mortimer.
Knehek.
Connectigazoink?
Knehek.
Therefore,
You recognize it sounds gnomish.
Connect the dots?
While Freundleben, we make the move.
Freundleben.
spoken
And 30 gold pieces.
Woo! Cappy's in the money.
How come you get all money?
Because I'm a greedy quarter. You know what? Carry on my grandmother's tradition.
I have to kill you in sleep.
Eldritch Blast 1d10 force damage.
And Auric says, well, what will you do now?
Visit person on list.
Yeah, visit this guy on the list. You want to tag along? We could always use a human dog.
Yes.
I was a man once.
What happened?
Well,
never mind.
Any way to lift the curse?
Yeah, I can remove a curse. Is it a curse? Are you cursed?
Do you want to be dog or human?
I wouldn't mind being human again, but I'm not sure if this can be reversed. I lost a bet.
All right. Okay. I can remove the curse, but let's hear like why you're cursed in the first place.
Yeah, true. Let's hear why the dog human is cursed. How do you end up?
I have removed curse, and it is prepped. So,
well, I suspect some treachery on Angier's part. Long ago, very, very long ago, I was a merchant in this town. I dealt in silks and fine fabrics. In fact, some of these tapestries came from my weavers. And one night, after much drink, I had allowed myself to boast a bit much and challenged Arngeir to which of us could satisfy the most of these young maidens before sunrise.
And who won?
It was a fuck off.
The bet, huh?
The bet was that whoever lost
turned into a dog.
would become the servant of the other in whatever capacity they chose. And Arngeir, the bastard, must have had some sort of magical aphrodisiac or stimulant. I barely barely could move by sundown. My cock was raw.
All right, stop. I'll remove the curse.
La 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 la.
Well, he keeps going.
It's called TMI. Mm.
And you know what the worst part of it was?
Does it work?
God. Here we go.
Are you dispelling the curse?
I'm going to dispel the curse. I'll remove curse.
As you remove the curse, you see him slowly, the face is becoming more and more normal, and he's gradually, it looks like he's a little uncomfortable, but not quite in pain. He's like, and after a bit, he kind of tries to stand up a little bit, and he stumbles and he falls over. He says, well, this is going to take some getting used to.
Lost sense of smell.
Looks at his hands. Oh, that's different. Color.
You're welcome.
Oh. It's been a while since I've been able to see in all these colors. Well, fuck me.
Now he's a human with a dog face.
I need a cloak or something.
All right, vaya con Dios.
Well, let me show you out at least. So the guy walking naked, he's still covered with kind of a thin coat of that, like sort of blackish, fine black hair. He's not completely, back yet, but he takes you down a hall, turn, and there's another body at the end, another girl, but this one's already starting to. He's like, oh shit. This is the kitchen. Through the kitchen, there is a door that goes out, and there's just a few turns through the maze from there to get to the side gate where they would take deliveries. Shit. Can you do the fire thing again?
Yeah, in a little while. Why? Is there something we need to know about?
If we want to get close to her. There's another girl right.
I have burning hands still. I could do burning hands. I did.
Someone have lamp oil and torch.
I did. Let's see. I did Sacred Flame. I still have burning hands left. Could still do burning hands.
As you approach, you can hear the sort of ragged breathing and choking. And she turns.
Choke on it.
And you see just black and blood all over. And she starts to try to kind of reach towards you. And she's, help me. Kind of weakly.
Mm-hmm.
Is she fire?
Is she okay? So she's like spewing the oil here.
She's pretty sick. She's covered in this black. Coming out of her. I mean, her eyes are almost black.
Nobody has oil of any kind that they can like light a crossbow bolt or a.
I think I got some lantern oil.
It's a shame to use like a heavy spell like this
just torture.
Well, I have dark vision, if that helps.
I have oil of slipperiness. I don't know if it's flammable or not. That's the only thing I got.
Why don't you go lube her up there, Sled?
Aldemar the Ranger, do you have any way to shoot him with a flaming arrow of some sort?
I'm looking through my stuff. I got a tinderbox.
We need like a bullseye lantern. I don't need a lantern. I've got dark vision, and I think Sled does too, right? So
do I.
And I do.
I can see in the dark.
I got rope and a tinder box. So would it be fair to assume I have matches as well?
Lots of
You
tinder.
would probably have a flint on you, and a striking.
Were there any torches or anything back in the kitchen or anything like that?
There is
Or
no
a lantern or something?
natural, sources of light. What there are is just, and now that you're looking around for it, you notice that the sconces just have some sort of a glow coming off of them.
Huh.
So they must have been enchanted as well.
All right.
You make a perception check.
Me?
Everybody.
Everybody.
Uh.
I am at
7.
14.
7.
19.
Okay. Who got 7?
I have 24.
I got 14.
Okay, so Aldemar got the highest. Aldemar notices the smell of smoke. It smells like, foliage. It smells like faintly like a forest fire.
Where's it coming from?
It seems you can't quite tell. There's a faint smell of smoke inside. And it's not the bodies, because the bodies, when the bodies are burning, they give off a very particular
Right.
Set fire to the building.
This is like fire. This is like wood burning, right?
It's like plants burning, but green plants. Because normally, as a ranger, you would be a little bit more familiar with this.
Right.
Having camped out and burned dry wood, burned greens, burned different things depending on what's available and what you're trying to do. And this smells like fresh plants, green plants burning.
What do you think, guys? Should I just search around? Like, not a lot of details as far as where it might be coming. Where is there any smoke coming from anywhere? Is there any visible smoke?
Yeah, there's no visible smoke, but you can faintly smell it, just a little bit over the top of the stink inside.
I'd like to do
Flies buzzing around.
I'd like to do another perception check.
All right.
If possible. So 17.
17.
Mhm.
So you can kind of tell there's another door, because when you go down the hall, there's a door at the end of the hall, and then it's a bend to the left where the kitchen door is, where this girl is. This door on this side, he says, this goes to the dining hall. What are you thinking?
Is the door closed or is
It's
it open?
closed, but you can open it.
Okay. Is there any this is me thinking like a firefighter. I don't want to open the door and have a backdraft blast on us. I'm gonna seriously, I'm gonna open the door, but have my body face against the wall, but push the door open without being in front of it.
When you touch the door, it doesn't feel hot.
Okay, that's good. So I'm going to open the door.
Okay. As you pull it open, you look inside, and there is a very nice dining room. It's a smaller one, but there's same tapestries, some very impressive marble carvings in the corners, and there is a long table, and there's nothing set on the table, but there's multiple very elaborate chairs, look like they're carved of expensive woods with, it's ridiculously opulent. And at the far end is almost like a throne. But it's interesting. It's set up so that there are two, looks like smaller seats up on the side of it.
Is there any smoke anywhere?
While you're in this room, there are some windows that are higher up on the walls. This is a little bit higher ceiling in here, and you can see some smoke outside In fact, there's a bit of it.
What do you think, guys? Should I shoot?
I look out the window to see where the smoke is coming from.
All right. I'm going to go check the windows to see where the smoke's coming from.
They're a little bit higher up. The ceilings in here are probably about 12 feet. It's a relatively tall room. So the windows probably start right at about 8 or so. And this is facing up towards the side of the house.
If I grab the table or a chair, would I be
Grot, stand underneath this window so I could get up on your shoulders and look out this damn window.
All right. I'm gonna lumber over to the one of the windows there.
I spryly jump on top.
Spry.
But gingerly as to not.
No, don't touch there.
That touch.
As you clamber up onto Grot's shoulders and peek out over the sill of the window, you can see that all these hedges are now burning, and they're giving off sort of a purplish smoke. But they're actually, it looks like they're thrashing around. It almost looks like a living thing that is being burned alive. But they are, and you see these weird little purple and greenish sparks coming up as they burn. So there's this smoke, coming up all around the place.
I talked to the former dog. Those plants, are they sentient? Because they're on fire right now. Do you have a reason to save them, or are they plants?
They're enchanted, but they don't think. They just follow their enchantment. They suck the blood out of anything that comes through that is not protected or was not protected by our.
Just like Vince's ex-wife. Well, guys, you want to go downstairs to get out of this building?
Yeah.
I head downstairs to get out of the building.
You're on the bottom floor.
All right, I get out.
No, you came back because this is where all the stuff happened with the guard by the front door. So
all right, just very quickly, we're just to interject here. We're at the 2-hour mark, so we want to also head towards a denouement, as it were.
I was going to say I'm going to have to bug out in about 20 minutes because I got to do something before the lockdown takes place here. They decided that the travel ban starts at midnight. So
can somebody burn the body that's in the?
I'll do it. I'll do burning hands.
All right.
I'm not laughing. Since nobody has any other way to make fire.
Yeah, something to shop for when everybody's out.
Yeah. Well, I'm definitely
lamp oil
next time. So yeah.
So as you're all pouring out of the dining area and going down the hallway, Silric reaches out, spreads his fingers, and this ball of flame grows between his hands, and then a bright sacred flame again, was it?
No, it's burning hand. This one's burning
hand. Okay, so burning hand. So the flame just streams out from his fingers across and just roasts what's left of this this sick woman by the door, and actually lights up the door too, chars the crap out of it. So now she's just, again, it just doesn't leave a whole lot of the body. You've got charred bone and strings of muscle and cloth, and the door actually kind of just falls in off of it because the hinge sides are completely burned. And beyond that, you can see that there is a cult member on the floor, and next to the cult member, a cook, and they're both on the floor. And the cult members, there's blood running all around the body, and you can see that its throat is wide open, and the cook is laying there with this cleaver next to him, and it looks like he'd been stabbed a bunch of times. So there's a big pool of blood there, and then there's a huge open oven with a spit in the middle. There's various pots and things, shelves covered with all sorts of spices. There are several carcasses that are hanging. Looks like they were being hung to dry and to make jerky out of or whatever. There's barrels. The whole thing is really well stocked. And at the far end, on the north wall, there is a short hallway that goes out to a door.
Is this the way out?
Arik, are you asking Arik or are you asking me?
Ulrich, is this the way out?
Oh, yes. Oh no.
Don't say that.
Poor Matthias. Oh, he wasn't supposed to, but he always saved some choice cuts of roast boar, rabbit, lamb. He was. This is awful. This is awful. Poor Matthias. Oh fuck. He doesn't look sick though. Looks like he died of his wounds. He spits on the cult member there, and he grabs an apron off the wall and throws it around and ties it. So now he's just got an apron on, and grabs a cloth, dips it in a wash bucket, and puts it around his face, and starts to walk towards the door. As he gets towards the back, there is a key, and he said, I can use these things again. I don't have to talk to these fucking knockers. I don't have a key. So there's a knocker on this side of the door too. So he whispers something to it that you don't recognize the words, but then the knocker just nods and the door opens out. And as it opens out, you're struck by this just stench. And it's this sort of purplish smoke. And it's sort of sickening, but also kind of like a wet, almost a moist heat, like you're being hit by a sauna door opening with all that smoke in it.
Does it look magical?
There's little flecks of like purple sparkles coming off of the plants as they're burning, and they're kind of thrashing about. And he says, "Oh fuck, we've got to watch out for the thorns. I don't know how this is going to work with them on fire like this." And now you notice, now that you're at the ground level, the flames as these things are burning are actually sort of a purplish with little green tinges around the edge.
I'm gonna grapple draw his sword.
Everybody roll for Constitution. That's not good for me. Please help me.
Oh, +3.
Oh, 20. Yes. But I'm at -1. So
21.
19.
17.
14.
8.
That's the only 20 I rolled today.
You got 8?
Yep, 8.
Okay. So as you're in this hallway and the smoke is coming, you feel a little lightheaded and almost like your vision is sort of like colors are shifting. Things look a little different. But Sled starts to, it seems like the walls are turning to liquid and sort of almost, undulating. And as you're looking around, Pharaoh's horns are kind of gradually turning,
tripping ball,
sort of interweaving, and his eyes are getting really big.
You're in loathing,
sort of yellowish. And Grot looks at you, and you see his tusks are kind of growing out and curling back around. And Sarah looks like his ears are starting to go.
So it's another anime film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Alvar seems to be, whenever he starts to talk to you, it looks like his eyes are talking. And as he opens his mouth, there's like a big eyeball there, and it starts to come out and float towards you. and now all the voices are gradually blending together, and it sounds sort of like discordant singing, some sort of harmony, and you feel really dizzy.
I sit down.
And the rest of you see Sled kind of just starting to wobble, and
Like he's had too much rum.
he looks like he's about to tip over. And also, Arik, he suddenly turns and he says, "Well, this
Oh, he's tripping balls.
is unexpected."
It's the fumes from the it's don't pay attention to what you're seeing.
His eyes go big and his mouth goes wide. He says, "Now I know."
Now you know what?
Naps and faps.
That's right. That's in fact.
Was the leaves.
I have to send that to you again.
Oh, they're tripping out. All right. Somebody go steady.
Save the leaves. Keep some of the leaves. Don't let them burn all of these.
Well,
Is it an antidote?
let's trip out again.
Huh?
Is that an antidote to the curse?
He
No.
just wants to keep the leaves.
He wants to get high off of them.
I get high. All right, that's Grat doesn't care. Grat just wants to get high. Grat just wants to get the fuck out of
All
here.
right,
So.
I'll go over and I'll try to steady Sled so he doesn't fall over.
Okay.
Because I'm helpful like that.
So, despite being a bit out there, you manage to, well, the stuff is burning, so now you can kind of see through chunks as burn. You manage to find your way around to the front to that path again, and you see two of the guards there with torches, and they're fighting and they're beating each other, screaming at each other. Each of them can't make out what they're saying. It's completely incoherent, but they're beating each other with their torches. They appear to be under the influence of whatever was in the smoke from the plants.
So,
We're going to shoulder our way past them.
Okay.
flow by.
Yep.
One of them turns and sees Saro and screams, "Demon!" and charges with the torch and coming right at your face with it. Sarah, what do you do?
Oh boy, Eldritch Blast.
Light them up.
Ah,
All right.
well, it's more kind of like using the Force, is what it would be. It'd be more like,
Yeah, it's a force weapon.
yeah. It's not fire, but that's what I want to do to him on that.
Away.
Push him back into the fire.
There we go.
And
So-
his friend.
Saro points, and this beam of like crackling green energy flies out of his finger and slams into this guard. And as the beam touches him, you see him almost lifted off the ground and tossed back into these bushes, which also start to entangle and punch into him with these thorns. So now he's screaming. He's still screaming, "Demon, demon!" But now the plants have him too, and he's burning and getting punctured. Roll for the force damage, though.
Okay, let's see. 1d10 force damage. 7.
Ooh, okay. So, I mean, it hit him pretty hard, and he's in there. And between getting knocked back and now being on fire and having all of these vines wrapping around and punching these big, like 2-3 inch thorns into him, you can see that he's just barely even with it. The other guy gets up and turns and runs straight into the fire.
Oh, shit.
Just straight off into the fire, screaming.
Dumbass.
So you make your way out to the road. Sled, make a Constitution check again.
Don't roll a 1. You're muted.
15.
15. Okay, so as you get out to the road, you notice at first when you were walking, it felt like you were on a boat. It seemed like everything was moving, but now it's starting to slowly settle. And at the same time that it's settling, the shapes are not swimming as much. The sky is turning back to sort of a blue, yellow, orangish, because the sun is still, coming up over in the east, which you're facing the east now. Let's see. Yes, so you're facing east now, coming out towards the streets. And you can see that there are a bunch of guards down the road that are coming in this direction, about 4 of them. And you see people kind of looking out the windows, but nobody is approaching yet. And as the guards are coming, they start yelling at you, screaming, what did you do to them? What did you do to them? All of you, drop your weapons.
How many are there?
4.
Drop yours.
Yeah.
So they pull up and they're holding, the swords and shields, and make an intimidation check.
Oh,
Yeah. And Grat's going to draw his great sword too.
Not a natural 20, but 20.
Let's see. 15.
Well, 20.
21.
Okay.
All right.
They run up.
17.
And they're yelling, drop your weapons, drop your. And as Sled says, drop yours, they stop. They look at the group and they just drop their swords and shields.
I walk and I pick up their swords. I say, thank you kindly. And I toss the swords. Thank you kindly. Toss the sword so they don't have any weapons.
And one of them says, they're not sick.
No.
No.
Are you?
They look at each other. No. What about those? What did you do to them?
Due to who?
Cleric here healed
Guards.
one.
Him.
Oh, those guards are killing each other. They got infected. They were killing each other because they both got infected. There seems to be a delayed time. Like you still have a little bit of sentient and thought before you totally lose it.
Oh.
So you guys might want to be careful not to kill each other. Just saying. Do you need something, or can we get about our business?
One of them says to the other, fuck this. Let's just skip town. I'm not going to any more houses.
That's a good idea.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. Keep moving.
You got any good weapons on you? I know these swords are kind of crazy. You got any good stuff?
You got any other Oh man, I had
How much money do you have on you?
God damn it. Why didn't I do that?
What? Are you robbing us?
No, I'm just saying maybe if you have some nice stuff. Otherwise you can leave.
No, we're rolling you.
I don't know why you're still
I want
here.
to use
Go away.
intimidation and tell them leave.
All right, they turn around and they go. And as they're going, you see them taking off the guard outfits and just throwing them on the ground and throwing the helmets.
You guys want to get their? Could we use their guard outfit?
Yeah, let's grab a couple.
Let's grab a couple.
There's 4 of them.
All right.
I'll take one.
All the human size one guy, you guys can't. I don't think I could use.
I could
can't
fit into
either.
one. Yeah, I'll take one.
I can't.
So now
These aren't the half orcs you're looking for.
These aren't the half orcs you're looking for.
Yeah,
This
I
isn't
said
the demon you're looking for.
that was a good day. I see we ended here. I think we're gonna...
Yeah.
Right. So you have guard outfits.
Mm-hmm.
Horsehead Port is now under lockdown because of whatever the hell is going around.
No way.
But now
Have to
you
sneak
also
out.
have a massive amount of. Did you keep the ledger?
Yes.
He
Kept
did.
the ledger.
Both of them.
So you have a massive amount of blackmail material on the Jarl And all of or not all of, but most of the major lords and ladies that haven't been killed yet, some of them are dead. It's tied to this cult because of the 2 people that you found in there. So, well, I guess we'll figure out how this all ties into everything else, or maybe we will. It depends on you guys next time.
Sure.
But, So it'll be interesting.
Definitely.
And, I'm not going to say anything else. I don't want to give away any spoilers.
Yes.
But when we pick up next time, 4 of you have guard outfits.
There we go.
So
one of us has a wand of Eldritch Blast.
That's right. And someone has a couple
Ring of
rings and shit.
Resistance. And there was a potion.
Somebody's overly entitled.
Sorry, say again?
Somebody's overly entitled.
Yeah, potion. Well, you guys can kind of divvy the stuff up.
No, you don't understand who you're dealing with here.
There was a ring of resistance. There's the oil of slipperiness. There was another potion. And where did I have
Diminution.
Oh, I think it was a potion of superior healing was one of them.
Potion of superior healing as well. Yes.
Yeah, and potion of diminution, and then the
ring of resistance to necrophilic.
Don't drink that, Sled, because if you do, I'm going to step on you.
Oh, and the oil of slipperiness. Don't forget the oil of slipperiness.
Oil of slippery. I can't forget. We're going to polish Sarah's horns with those. Be nice and shiny and gleamy.
A tiefling, depending on how your horns, how are his horns? Is it like a ram's horns, or is it like horns?
They kind of go more like bull horns.
Okay, so do you wear them, or does Pharaoh wear them? Like, do you sharpen them, or do you have any decorative engraving? Do you wear any rings on them? Does he do anything with them?
Rings like that, yeah. He's got some rings that he kind of attaches to them.
Awesome.
He's like a millennial.
So you can headbutt people and stab them in the face with it.
He could gore them if he had to, yeah.
So that's something to keep in mind
Cool.
for later on. Also, one last thing. As you are getting these guard outfits on, down the road, you see a halfling run across from behind one building another.
Halfling.
Fucking halflings.
And they glance, and it glances your way as it goes across. So when we pick up next time.
All right. So we got the books and the potential halfling encounter. All right, cool. I get to eat more.
All right, I'll see you guys. I got to get going.
All right, fellas.
Right there. All right, everyone. All right, so everyone, thank you for joining us. This has been Masculine Geek number 62. Live stream D&D game. We will schedule the next one soon. I'll show you that you'll get that up on the events calendar on the website. So, without further ado, any parting words, Dungeon Master Drew?
No, I don't want to give away any spoilers. I've got a million things I wish I could tell you guys right now, but I don't want to say anything.
Oh yeah, don't say anything.
It's just going to get more bloody, and there's going to be more crap going on, and it's going to get more dangerous. And there's going to be a little bit of intrigue and stuff too, but mostly just lots of killing and shit.
Cool.
Nice.
Congrats down for that. All right, everyone, have a good night. Stay safe. Enjoy your lockdown. Get shit done. Keep moving forward, and we will see you soon.
That's right.